is your name? Wave at the camera. Thank you. This is Natalie. I'm Molly, and this is
Matt.
We are the Burns family, and both of our kids are miracle kiddos. I usually talk about Natalie's story first because it's the shorter one, and then I'll talk about his. So Natalie was born with a congenital heart defect called a transposition of the great arteries. We found out in utero when I was pregnant with her that she was going to come into the world sick, and she had open heart surgery at 5 days old. At 1 day, she had to have a heart cath, and later on found out that they completely obliterated her common femoral vein, so she has one leg shorter than the other, and that will most likely be a lifelong thing. And then her surgery was really quick, and she's heart-wise doing really good. She's on to every other year appointments now, which is a big deal in the heart world. And she's had a lot of other small things throughout her life, a diagnosis of asthma that we later found out was not actually asthma. She had a membrane in her throat that made it hard to breathe, so she couldn't walk a city block without needing an inhaler breathing treatment. But we found out on her second set of ear tubes, they went into her throat to look and see if there was something there, and found out that there was, so they were able to surgically fix that. And then we finally got her to be healthy enough for 6 weeks straight to be able to do a follow-up appointment 3 years after that, and found out that she had been aspirating for 8 years of her life, 7.5 years of her life. And she had to be on thickened liquids for 6 months, and then she had surgery in February of this year and has been completely free from any issues there. So she's really, for all intents and purposes, now our healthy kid. She's doing amazing, right? He's out. Gabriel is, they're both miracles, but Gabriel is truly our miracle kid. He came into the world and passed all of his newborn screenings. We thought he was a healthy baby. At 3 weeks old, he had a blue spell that I got a little concerned about, and the doctor that we had at the time didn't want to listen to me. So for almost 4 months of his life, he was having serious health issues, and the doctors didn't want to ever look into anything, despite me having him in the doctor every week. So at just shy of 3 months old, Gabriel got really, really sick. Just shy of 4 months old, sorry. He got really sick and ended up needing to be hospitalized. And we found out that day that he was also born with a heart defect called Al Kappa. It's the anomalous left coronary artery from the pulmonary artery. That day, he was supposed to be life-flighted to Iowa City. There was an impending blizzard, so they could not life-flight him, so he was ambulanced in the middle of a blizzard to Iowa City. That 1.5 hour drive was almost 4 hours. It was miserable, but he got into the PICU, and at that time they told us that he was the sickest kid there. He was set to have surgery Monday morning. We got there on Friday, so he was going to have surgery Monday morning. They told us all of the things that could happen in that time, and expected that none of them would happen and that he would be fine. So we went in with some hope that he'd be great and we'd be out of surgery. Just so happens that the day he had surgery was my 22nd birthday. So that was a gut-wrenching birthday present, but after the surgery was supposed to take 3 to 6 hours, and after 14.5 hours he got back to his room. He had hemorrhaged on the operating table and ended up needing the highest form of life support, which is called ECMO. ECMO, oftentimes they don't see people come off of ECMO. It's usually a last resort, and 9 times out of 10 they don't make it. So he's a living, breathing miracle right now. He is sitting here. 4 days on ECMO was just enough to help his heart heal up, and he came off and started healing and doing all the crazy things that 4-month-old babies do. Today he's gonna be 11 on Wednesday, and we still have yearly cardiology appointments. They anticipate a surgery at some point, but his heart's getting better every year, so I'm not sure that we're ever gonna have to get to that point.